All fine?
Yes, sir.
House of Chaos. You get anything anywhere.
Luckily she's not. Architecture is chaos. And she is a banker. And I...
She.
Okay. Rolling. Start.
There are architects who follow rules, but then there's Ar.Jaisim who makes his own. His journey is not just about buildings, it's about freedom, belief, and a fearless mind. This is not just going to be an interview, but a dialogue about life, meaning, and memories. Ladies and gentlemen, architect Ar.Jaisim in this episode. Let's delve deep into his wisdom.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Namaskar.
So, namaskars. So, to begin with, I would like to share an experience with you. So, when I walked in this village, I felt so subtle, so like peaceful, calmness, and I felt like as if I was nurtured by a mother. That's what I felt like. How did you achieve it? What was the spell you did? Because every architect wants to do that with this building, here, his or her building. Like they want to make the clients or the users of the space to feel that, nurturing feel. How to get that feel in a building?
We were finished the Bangalore hospital and various other projects. Then one day in the open house of the Bangalore hospital, my wife was also sitting with me, since they were all my clients. So we are all reached, this is done 25 years back or something. We have reached an age, what do we do next? I like two doctors who got up, very senior doctor.
Okay.
Your thought is very right. Believe it or not, the very next day they start driving down. What would you? I think going back to a village is where the real nurture is. One thing we will call it a retirement village. At that time I was doing some work for Art of Living. I used to go on Kanakpura Road. I said Kanakpura Road is the quietest road in Bangalore. It's beautiful. It's nice. I used to drive on my car, stop and go this way. The moment I said, one of them said, morning, we are picking you up tomorrow morning. So we drove. Then Vajramunishwara temple started. There was no road, nothing. We turned. I said, this land is beautiful. It was forest land and thing. Because at the time, we were part of the World Wildlife Federation and all. There was nothing but pure, nothing here except the slope. He said, what are you? I said, I'm looking at the valley. This valley requires life, but it requires a sense. He just smiled at me. He said, done. Very next month they said, come again. How much land would you not? I said, I have no clue. They said, we also don't have clue. But what would we do if you were, they knew of me as an architect, if it were a thesis, something like that. I said, for this I would like to investigate the land, put it together, how to do it. And when you retire at a particular age, because there were retirement homes, you want to retire. But yet you want connection. That's why the word suvidha came. And communication, meeting, but yet silence. And one more thing, I don't want anybody above me or side of me. But they should be available. I should be able to take a walk and talk the walk or something. That's what it is. And I could mutter any nonsense, he can mutter any nonsense, because we have all lived our life. Nobody should bother. And we need security. Not really from the other humans. They were more inquisitive about humans, and that's one. But this was a beautiful elephant track.
Oh, okay. And
the leopards would come. Deers would come. It was beautiful. But how to make the elephants come more and visit to us? And he said, sir, the elements of life says you need water, air, then water. These are the two fundamentals. Then every other element happens as the senses go. What man, there is no body lake here. Where? They said, there is one lake. Far away there is one big lake. I said, brought the bulldozer. They said, we have taken the land over. But 30 acres of land, we just put a thing and said, government was also wondering, what are these old buggers doing here? I'm talking about, even then they are called as old buggers. Before they say, no, give it to We got it at a very good price. I dug the lake, put the thing, put it. Then we said, how many people will come? We'll say, we'll ask. But then they had said, for this number of acres, you can only add not even 15%, it was even less. So I calculated and said, they said, you can add 1%. I said, no. This terrain is so much I can't build on the ground. I can only build it on stilts. Because at that time I was doing some work in Kodai and all this thing. Stilts is safer. Only we don't have steps except my house. Just to show them with an example. One thing, if you notice, all of them have ramps to walk up. You can have a pull chair pushed in. It was one of the steps. Then people started coming. We were only beginning, hardly anybody. I used to have fun walking here, driving. Coming here, my office, that's why I separated it. My office would work here. I would come here overnight. If I stay back, I would stay back here. Or go, or make them.
So this was your office, and Jayanagar office also is
That was only. If you ask me honestly, how many, I have no clue how many offices are in India or abroad with us. Somebody said, how many offices you have? I said, infinity and none. You couldn't understand. I said, one phone call, you want to go to Muscat tomorrow morning?
There's an office there.
You want to go to London? John is sitting in London. You want to go to Germany? I said, architects' offices everywhere. And all my people who worked with me, like the great man, we are a continuation of Fountainhead.
Wow. So such a beautiful space, and that brings me to another question. You said none of your two buildings are identical. None of your two homes are identical in one of your talks, and that brings me to a phrase that Indian architects who are deeply rooted in Indian culture say this statement. If you put a modern building from our country, the modern buildings these days, on one side and the other country's building on the other side, you compare, you don't feel any difference. But the modern architects say that is what is growth, that is what is globalization. They say that's how, change is the only constant. So change has to happen. So where do we draw a line wherein we are like imbibed in our roots yet modernized? Like how do we see that?
I look at it totally different. We are the only architecture that changes every second. No other architecture changes even years. You look at a mosque, then look at a mosque, then you look at a church, then look at they're identical. Whereas you look at any temple, depending on the location, it changes. Totally changes. You look at the culture we have, it's changed from village to village, point to point. That's why I said, change must be within you, not because somebody wants a change.
It shouldn't be outside only.
It is with you, the change. As you grow, your yesterday is not today. Your tomorrow you don't know. But there is a continuity. When you use the word identity, I use it, the identity of the architecture, it is not a repetition. We don't copy one and paste it in the other. But still, they must be historically and culturally connected. That is the continuity of Fountainhead. That's how I got into Fountainhead. The continuity of cultures, historic values, as you comprehend and interpret.
How do you inculcate that? How do young architects should inculcate that nature within themselves? How do they change the thought process?
The word called nature in a very interesting way. Today I was reading about the Madurai temple. Big fight was going on from morning, I think. Which is older, which is young. I said, what does it matter? And you, in that case, new architects who go there, they go and paint the temples. I got angry when I was going. I said, you touch Tanjore temple, I have children. Called the film. Jensen Nicholson, something. They said, it's a free paint I'll give you. I said, you touch any of these. This is historic and culturally, the weather is taking it over. You want to live on it. Moss is a beautiful thing to grow on it. If you want to walk around the walk in. This is not a religion, it's a way of life. You will not touch that sculpture, you will not touch it.
Why do you think they lost that culture? Why copy-paste culture has come now?
It is because of the schools of architecture. Don't get angry with me on your schools. Tell you what, you are not the people have been asking me this again. I was telling you about my thesis. See, that person who is a so-called professor sitting there can only understand what he or she knows. When you write beyond it, they don't comprehend. And when they don't comprehend, they fail you. Go read the book. I said, well, I read the book. And what the first thing, any of the books, because I said if I had read the Mahabharata or Kurukshetra or something, I might have called mine a different. But Ayn Rand was the first one to influence me with the fountainhead. That's why it's called the fountainhead.
Fountainhead.
The creativity. That's what inspired me. And she was only a Russian who became an American. So that inspired me more. Here were two capitalists and communists or socialists fusing towards to get something that expressed my thought of culture and history. And when every time, yesterday there was a big discussion, I don't know how many of you heard it on video, they were talking about Indian culture goes 200 years before BC and all. I had a laugh. I said, why? 10,000 years back we had urban cities. Beyond Hampi, beyond thing. And they discovered, they've discovered another city, which the Arabs and others who came covered it. So suddenly found it under the ground, little above Madurai somewhere. They were digging, they said, what is this? Looks, they wanted this. Then luckily the one very senior Minister of Heritage, he came, he discovered. The people who were doing, they didn't like him, they transferred him. Another fellow, they put him back. They got it. It's a very nice thing. Go through. So one of you youngsters only sent me this. I said, this is fantastic history and culture. Beyond time. And if they could design so fascinatingly then, all sorts of pottery, this, that, whole, unbelievable the subcontinent had such depth of architecture about 4,000, 5,000 years back.
And all your designs have been revolutionary in a way, like at that times, for example, container housing or that wonderful thought, like now it's the thing, but before it was like no one would have thought about. There you said government officials came running and say, what is this nonsense? Like any revolutionary design you take, that is what government officials run and come to you and say, what is this? How do you deal with these government officials? What, like they don't understand nothing. How do we, like
It's
even
not
if we
that
design.
They don't understand. They don't want to understand. I'm finding the problem here also. There are a couple of PWD engineers here. If I were anybody else, they would have got around. But knowing near me, they won't come. Keep putting. I said, this is not the way to put roads. This is not the way to put. But then my wife said, you've done your job. See, there were 3 or 4 things that supported me indirectly. First, I won't be in sequence. This will be off sequence. The commissioner was a very good friend of mine in Bangalore. I mean,
Here, like you're talking about this project.
No, about Bangalore.
Bangalore, okay.
He met, he said, what are you doing? I'm saying, he said, yes, this is very interesting. Then at the same time, Hutko walked in. I was experimenting with this thing. Then Sharma and Suresh. I said, Jaisim, what are you doing? I said, sir, there is no such thing as interior designer, interior decor. It's just architecture. Like in the Vice Chancellor in Madras. So Madras was my starting point. I'll come back here and I'll find, sir, somebody is waiting for you. I'll find the Commissioner of Corporation sitting there. Even yesterday, my office called me, sir, the director of Lal Bagh wants you. I said, PW, forget the PW, the director wants you there. I said, you've already been, no, he wants you to do one more interactive space. In Lal Bagh? Yes, sir. Otherwise we will send the car. I said, no, you send the thing here, I'll sketch and give. I mean, there are people there who still recognize values. Because theoretically, I mean, by thing, they can only employ a PWD architect. They can't employ anybody else. Okay. You'll find it all different. But these are people who manage to get along and say, no, we want something. It's difficult, but that's how
it takes time, yeah.
It doesn't take time, it takes beyond time. They must still understand that I don't physically run around much. When he said, I would have loved to come and say, go to garden and now. I said, but somebody's trying to, because of me, somebody's trying to kidnap me out. Okay. That fusion is very important. And understanding then when it comes to their own homes and things. And another thing that happens is some film stars and film actresses, they know the reality. They say we are acting here, but want reality. There's someone like Ar.Jaisim and other top film stars like Shivaji Ganesan, Gemini Ganesan, Tara. They somehow come to know about you. I said, this is not a stage, this is a house. That's why we called it. That pushes the media. And once the media comes into your life, you don't know what. Even Times of India, no, but with you they're careful. And
they can't mess with you.
Including architectural journals. I don't want to mention. I'm now writing an article for both ACE and Antarya. So I said, when it's ready, it'll come. Journalism also matters, writing matters. And once, this is why, like shipping corporate, because of the canteen, the cabins, I went to Muscat. When I went to Muscat, when the Oman people accepted, I said, here is a strict country which accepts my architecture to revolutionize their thinking.
Correct.
Which was supposed to be a 1 month visit, ended up as a 3 years, 4 years. I quietly escaped from it, as I told you. Telling her, my wife, we're going on a holiday. They brought her, we started Bank of Muscat in Oman. All that is a history. So when I came back here, I said, I'm going to Bangalore and settle down.
Okay, it's like in Muscat, in the other countries, they understand the value of architects and architecture. Here we don't.
Actually, India understands it better. That is where I define to people. Only thing, each culture, each direction looks at it in a different way.
The old people, the old civilization understood architecture, or we, the new civilization?
The present, those who know, understand it. But then the quantity, like you said, how many schools of architecture in India now?
40 years. In Bangalore itself, 15
40,
or
50 years.
something.
It has become a bus stand thing. So out of that, only 1% will understand. Tell you, this is not an engineering or medicine, it is not the profession. It is a very profession. Art, as I probably wrote to you also, art is fascinating, but can it express?
No.
How will it express?
The technology comes in.
You read too fast, it's dangerous, man. Whereas technology can exist without art.
No.
That is what is happening. It is the West. That's why I won't mention, I only saw CC is one person, I call him, he messed up Indian architecture. But they made him the greatest architect.
Now I know who CC is.
They'll kill me tomorrow. But quite a few of them will understand. But this is now happening in a commercial sense. Many of the architects from Bombay, Delhi, they're not interested in what is architecture. They're only interested in their funds and their business. They just do it as a business. Big projects, they take it. Make sure you're not involved in it. If you talk too much, you become the jury. And when you go as a jury, they've already shortlisted it, which you don't know what to do with all the good ones. There's only one competition. I don't know what came into me when you opened this. I think it was the JK competition. I don't know which one. I went. They said these are the final 4 for you to visit and select one of them and categorize. I walked around. I said, for the fun of it, can I have a look at all those you've rejected? Sir, but there are almost about 60, 70 projects then. I said, doesn't matter. Anyway, my flight is not there. If it comes anyway, I'll go tomorrow morning. Can I have a look? Surprisingly, the director was very nice. He said, give it to him. So they brought, somehow collected all the drawings. Sat with a couple of younger architects. I said, Bush. I'll never forget that particular meeting and thing. Then I reduced them to think, I said, why have you rejected all this? Sir, doesn't anything to understand. I said, can I take the decision for this awards function? So that's why you are the chief guest. I said, where are the other 2 juries? The other 2 juries are little young. So whatever you decide, we'll decide. Are you sure? Tell me. I said, reject all this one. And the worst one that they had thrown was I don't remember the architect's name. He had just put the whole project in one page. Sketches, sketches, sketches. They didn't even look at it. They just only one. We asked for 12 sheets per architect. He's given only one sheet. And that too, that secretary gave it to me. I said, what is that sheet? Sir, that is rejected. No, no. I said, this is the best of architecture. And
The quality matters than quantity.
it is the imagination that has been drawn into that pencil. This is where I have war with thesis when I come. I said, show me all the theses which are failed. Then I will come and tell you. That becomes, how many people will stand?
Correct.
They can select. Then I said, God, these are the people who win. And those architects, till today, they have become some of the top architects in the country and the world. Many of them have left India and gone away. I said, thank you, sir. But many of them, after going up, become business oriented. Because when the clients, like big clients, I had tough time refusing very big projects. They want you to know, you want this, you want that. I said, no, I can't do those things. I don't know how, not that I can't, I don't know how to do this. What do you mean you don't? I said, I'll get you. Anybody will do it. It happens especially.
So one more question. When I heard this, I was like literally shocked. That was, you said you hardly asked money from your clients. And they paid you the double the amount which you should get. How does it even work? Because for us, when we design, we ask for money,
Yes,
and
I've
then even
noticed.
then they don't send money. So how did it work? Like how was it like possible? Like,
See, it's a very interesting way. I don't go after the clients. Never, till today I've never been. The clients come to me. It's only when they come to initially, they bring all the papers, all the signs. I said, no, this doesn't fit you. You're just walking into a ready-made shop and trying to buy something. It doesn't fit you. You have to be totally redesigned and repurposed. Some of them may not come back. It doesn't matter. But those who come, first thing they said, what's your fees? I said, I don't charge anything. The fact that you even come to me is the charge. I said, what is this? I said, I'll put you on to one younger architect or draftsman who from my sketches will draw something if the contractor wants one. But then at that time I had some very interesting artistic builders who loved my work. Sir, he would tell that he would by accident walk in, sir, why you want? With him we don't even want a sketch. We just want him to come to the site, look around, we know exactly what he wants to build, what he wants from there. I would insist that I should talk to the whole family, and some of the children and all must also come to me at the site. That was a family home. School, I said, I want to talk to your students. That's a valley school and all grew up. Then, if it were a hospital, I say, I want to see the doctors and the nurses and the patients. I want to see what do you people do. You know, just sit around a table and cut him up in pieces or so. That's how it grows. It is an communicative interaction. That's completely. And then, when you know the price of gold, you pay. Without even asking. Sometimes she's good at balance. She said, who was it? I said, why? There's some money put into your bank account. I said, they know you won't ask, they won't. So the bank's account, a couple of lakhs are sitting in the bank. Who put it?
but didn't you have bills to pay? Because like it is a very that's a profession.
Yes.
That's a profession. We architects say this is a profession, so this is how we eat. Like this is bread and butter for us. So if we don't earn, we have bills to pay, we have life to live. So how do we get money from?
She paid all.
But what
That's
about
what she wanted. She could have been anything she wanted in this country.
Yeah.
She left all that. Look,
She studied for IAS or something. Yeah, she was an officer.
State Bank. No. She's smiling. Why does Suvida still want her? She's gone there, changed the matter. She's strict with me also. I said, no, she don't want to. Till she signs, they want to. She said, I don't have an official position. They said, no, ma'am, you know, which makes a difference.
Okay.
She support. Then automatically the client support. I told you the shipping corporation, the India Tobacco Company, ITC, big
Such big
companies.
projects.
How they all came to me, I don't know. Personal work. I'll never forget these multi-billion-dollar projects abroad here coming. Like grown at any level. Like Ideal Homes. You've been to Ideal Homes, Rajaraj. They made me president. You design all this. You design housing. You build the tallest building, whatever you want. That container home, by sheer accident, that happened. Now they claim it as some reinvention or some underground cities. One of the best we have done is what do you call when you put climate challenge buildings, like an anthill, you put it inside. They won't let me know where it is built. I told you that also. They just put me in a van, took me there, you build it here. Because you can't detect a mud built from the radar. It has no metal except people in. So you push them inside 30 feet below the earth. You can't find them at all. How to make it? I said the ants can breathe and live. So humans also walk. Again, you learn this from the African architecture.
Okay.
Like the pyramids and all. Pyramids are deliberately built, but there are people live in the great, what do you call the Egyptian pharaohs? They used to live in this place. And then they died in that place.
Okay, so the first segment is done. So if you want a break, you want to drink
Why?
some water?
You want to drink coffee?
No, I don't.
You want water or anything? No,
He wants, the camera wants break.
Take it.
We are in segment 2 now, which is called as situationship. So situationship in outside world is a very different meaning, but for us now, so students and couple of young architects have questions for you. They have sent their words to you. They want to ask these questions to you. This is a tale of a girl who recently joined a firm after graduation. Okay, this is her question. Sir, I come back home every evening wondering where my creativity went. I spend 9 to 10 hours doing toilet layouts and dimensioning floor plans made by my seniors. No one asked for my opinion. I wanted to build dreams, but I am only tracing them. What should I do?
Get out of that office. I walked out of so many offices. I told you in the beginning. As soon as somehow I finished my architecture, I hadn't got my degree. The very professor who had come to interview me, one of the biggest offices in the country those days, where is that fellow home? I said, he has to intern. Yes, ask him to intern in my office. I said, you failed me and you want me to intern in your office. I said, no way. I said, do you know even whom you're talking to? He is today the number one. I don't know what got him. Who is his worst competitor? So and so and Dun building. Straight, I used to love motorcycle. I told him the story. Went straight to that building, walked up. Initially he thought, an youngster walked across and went to this. He thought I was a client. I thought he was one more architect. But there were a few of my seniors sitting and smiling and watching. They're still doing very well. Yes, fine. Why this fellow come? We won't talk also. Then, so secretary came. Sir wants you. I said, how can I go? Where is the sir? He said, you mean that person who walks with sir? Yes, you didn't even get up, sir. So we all thought you were a client. So he's calling you as a client. Before he said, if he knows you want to see you. So I walked in. He smiled at me. That's when, yes, please sit down. Sir, I can't sit. What? I've come to intern with you after finishing the final year. I thought you were a client. No, sir, if I said I was an intern, you won't let me. He smiled. You
Crazy fellow.
sit down. That's when I admit, he said, sit down. I thought you'd throw me out. He said, sit down. What do you want to do? He said, if I don't join your office, I'll have to go and join that office. I don't want to. I would rather not go home at all. He got scared. He said, what I might do? He said, I don't have any place. Luckily for me, that senior architect came to question him. He just smiled. He said, how did? He said, he is my senior. We know this boy, sir. Youngster. We have seen his works. As architects, we admire what he does as sketches, but the college won't let him go because he is president of the union. I was more president of the union, president of cricket club. Probably I should have continued there and made more money. Then, what do you do? That is when I learned architecture. I said, there are no tables, nothing available. I said, I didn't ask for anything. I just want to come and sit. He smiled. The next day, I sat there. He said, come. You had a lovely car. Put me in the car. Drove around. This went on for 2 years. Then he said, work on the table. I used to work. By that time, I told you the Vice Chancellor interviewed. He was doing that project and thing. So the next day I went to him. I said, Jaisim, I understand you got your degree. Thank you very much. Now you can go put your chair, design chair. Sir?
You don't have a degree.
No, I got the degree because of that. No, got back. He said, no sir, from today I am the architect. Okay, which project do you want? I said, I don't want any of your projects. I told this. I have no right to them. It's your client. What are you going to do? I'm going to go home. I went home. My brothers, they were all there. What are you doing? I said, ma'am, mother loved architecture. She was also at that time very friendly. What are you going to do? I'm sitting there. Then they said, there's a car waiting for you. I mean, I told you, the shipping corporation. So he came, Syed Yusuf and Syed Ibrahim. Jaisim, understand, you come home? Yes, sir. Take over the project. No, sir, I can't.
Yeah,
said, no,
you
come.
can't. You go in.
Tomorrow morning, car, they gave me a whole new project. Shipping container, then shipping carts, then Maideen tobacco. Believe it or not, my early big clients were all Muslims and Christians. That's why I have nothing against religion. People were shocked. They thought I was Jaisim or Jaisim, I don't know. Then they came home, they realized they love. Even today, after 50 years, they're in touch. Can you fly down? I said, I can't fly, I can't. Max, if you're doing anything here, she comes. Maideen came the other day. And I came here. He drove. I said, you're one of the richest people in the country. Only you know. I came.
How was the work culture there? Because every office is the same culture almost. Because they say, the architects say, we have big deadlines. We can't do, we have to make you work like that. Otherwise, we have not a work like
that is not finish. Architecture, that's building. Take any good temple or good architecture like Mohenjo-daro or Harappa or even the Egyptian civilization. You do the abstract. Architecture is an abstract like art, but realized through technology, as I said. This is what the design defines. Architecture philosophizes. It's context of spirituality that brings it together. Architecture is timeless. Design is timed to the materials and elements at that time available, and to the labor that architecture is beyond. You can build any of the building any time. Only the elements and materials will differ. The concept will always be there. That doesn't change. The flow of spaces will not change. Only technology allows you to make a larger thing or a smaller space, but the real flow of spaces never change. That's why I told you the other day also, you look at an anthill. Show me 2 anthills that are identical. Yet it's an anthill. That is architecture. Your identity is there, but it is not a copy. It's not a copy paste. Unfortunately, builders don't follow that.
I think this should be imbibed in young architects. They should learn this.
Who will learn? Very few people learn. That's why I'm very happy many architects are becoming journalists now. Like, some of them might not become excellent artists and actors and cartoonists. You know the great cartoonists. He will even know. Sorry, how are you? You finished with sir after leaving your office. I'm not going to even wait. Bava, Benninger, they all influenced a lot.
So this is a student's question to you. Sir, I came into architecture full of passion, but college feels like a race. Constant deadlines, harsh juries, and little room to truly explore. I'm always tired, doubting myself, and afraid I'm losing the joy I started with. So her question is, how do I hold on to my love for architecture and not lose myself in this whole chaos?
Very 2 simple ways. It's like getting into a taxi. You can't drive. You have to anyway pay the taxi fellow wherever he goes. If you trust the taxi fellow, he'll take you through the shortest and better path. But the traffic still The traffic is the examination board and the thing. You have to follow the rules. But if you know him well, he'll take you softly towards something following the examination rules. And you have to pay him also. But this payment is only because if the council did not exist, I would say forget it. Just call yourself and in fact now the question and be done with. Unfortunately or fortunately, many ways, council has come in and said unless you have a council registration, you can't practice as an architect. So for that sake, that's why I also finished architect. Otherwise I would never have finished. In fact, when no council president pulls my leg, finished, take my council. That's why I told you, in the moment I got the council registration, when he wrote and said, take your IA, take your council. That's important. You need the driving license. Otherwise I would have driven the car myself. That's necessary. It is part of the game. She or he, whoever it is, must go create the discipline of it at this time. Discipline is necessary. And say, don't be influenced by them. You keep your creativity with them. You have it in your own. There is a time and junction that comes when you can do your journey. Like I did all mine, and that's when he gave me this, the found somebody can appreciate the way you do it. Because he was a very disciplined architect, the second one I worked with. But his was very firm and thing. Up to a point it was nice, but it was not very creative. It was very beautifully, once a beautiful, very well functionally built buildings. The other fellows are all form-built buildings. I said, both are not right. There is something that should happen that merges and fuses humanity into this space. The organic living. Organics became another big space, nature.
Okay, so just a hypothetical question. If COI comes to you and says tomorrow, sir, you rewrite the architecture curriculum, not correct it, rewrite. What are the key aspects that
They came.
They came already.
I said, first, close COI.
They would have run away.
No, they didn't run away.
No.
You know this. He's been a good friend. Jaisim, what? I said, without your license. How much? I said, all I have to do is practice. 90% of architects practicing today. Hire a young architect or a very business-like architect as an architect to sign. And they do. After she or he signs, they just build what they want. Builders. And when I was talking about builders, you don't know. All the great builders of India, they made me Builders Association Life President. I think there are awards or something. Their personal houses I have to build. Sir, these are commercial spaces. You don't get involved. That's why when I perceive some of the architecture turned into that, I said, sir, you don't know, there's big money. I said, okay, what are you going to do with it?
You would be blessed, no? Like you are surrounded by artists, you are surrounded by all fields of life.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally, literally, yes.
Very
From
rare
the submarine to
opportunity.
the space. Designing a house on the moon space was one of my biggest challenges. And when one student wants these, I said, that was one more thesis I did. How do you know? I said, cabs is a good friend. They'll teach me how to do 1/6 of the gravity, various factors. I can move faster and better. But then cabs, I said, no, I want to design beyond the moon, into the stars. How do I not know there are other human beings or something like that there also? They must be looking at us for something else and we don't know how to look at them.
If we have such creative ideas for theses, our jurors would be like, waste, it doesn't work out. Reject. That's
Precisely.
what they say.
Precisely. That is why I can't help it. That is like getting, that is when I learnt, I think I wrote this in the last thing. The final jury, when I went to, I just copied some pages from all the things, put it together, put neatly, put cleanly, put title, one book. Where is your book? Here's sir, my book. You finally wrote. I didn't even know what was inside. Neat book, one, keep that.
They
One
want that neat.
That thing, put page after page, some drawings. They could identify, because for them, they could identify their own buildings they have drawn. They have no clue. Oh, nice. Yes, it's yours. How to tell me? No, good. Finally you have learnt. Yes, sir, finally I have learnt. Luckily for me, VC was also smiling. He said,
We should go get in their way and then do it.
Just copy, get out, get your license and get out.
Okay. So next question is from a architect who's just like he wants to start his own practice. Sir, I don't come from a well-connected background. I have no rich relatives, no network, and no celebrity projects. All I have is a strong will to start my firm. But how do I begin from zero where I don't even have a first project?
Go, I'll never forget. I used to sit and make, luckily for me, my brothers and things, they said, what are you doing? I said, nothing. She was working. What do you do? I said, nothing, I'm just sitting at home. I won't go to office, I didn't go. My eldest brother, who was the top manager of one of the biggest companies in Madras those days, said, why don't you design our factory? I said, you've got one of the top architects designing it. Yes, Jaisim. I have seen one of your theses was industrial buildings. I didn't know. My brother was a phenomenal engineer and very respected. He smiled at me. Come. But this is a fresh project and I am the MD. And the British fellow is the chairman. He will sign. That's how one of your own people who initially told you, idiot, what are you doing, go to college, they see your drawings and appreciate. When he saw my production line of how the industry should be and how the industry is running, I said, I saw both. I found it as very interesting the way you said production line should be this way and not that way. But that's the way we have been doing it for the last 50 years. But you have shown me this because I saw it with my mother. She would say, I wanted to build and show. Let's prove that this new production line in India works better than the British line. And that was an English company. I did it. At the same time, my other brother, who was working for a very big company, Airborne Studies, their chairman would have been the President of India. That's how President of India also became a great friend. Abdul Kalam.
Abdul Kalam, sir.
Yeah, he wanted me to sit there and do it. I don't know how he liked. He said no. Along with him, he said I want Abdul Kalam as president. I don't want to be president because I want to be with science and industry. Dr. Ar.Jaisim. Jaisim, what are you doing? Your brother was talking about what you do. I asked him, Center for Airborne Studies. I was talking to him, why, sir, your aircraft flies in the air. You tell a villager that this metal thing flies in the air, he will laugh at you. Then he will also look at the bird is flying. And your old Shastras say Krishna was flying. Maybe they were all true. And once they realize this metal can fly, air which you cannot see supports what is seen. Architecture visualizes. He smiled at me, designed the next CAPS building.
Wow.
I said, sir, but your structural engineer won't agree because I don't use the steel and I don't use longer than chairman. Then he said, okay, to prove it, you build my home. With whatever you want. I designed a house. I said, who is the structural engineer? I said, I have one person who tells me where tension and compression goes, but he doesn't tell me how much steel to go, how much steel. I want to understand the abstract of structure, and he will do the detail of the structure. He doesn't understand the abstract of structure. I'm an architect. I know this is how the shell stands, pushes, planks. We did that. Then he said, you do the aerospace building. Then it grows. He should do it. Just listen to some people. In fact, I was sitting at home and what is he doing? He's doing nothing. Why can't he sketch me? That's only the ego. You have seen my first building in the sea. They said, on the sea, you have to build house with deep footings. I said, how does the camel walk? I scratched their hand. Same way, my building is now foundational, but they have put water and built. It's still standing till somebody top man bought it and said, Jaisim, get out.
So it's all you need to start. So we are done with the second segment. Now we are moving to the third segment. And this is sponsored by my friends. Their firm name is Ape Studios. So they are Ape Studios.
AP?
APE Studios.
Ape.
Ape.
I like, he's worse than me.
So they along with designing, they do this products, book products, all that. So they wanted me to give it to you.
Thank you very much.
So these are all sketchbooks, all that. So they have different kind of products, books, sketchbooks, cards, postcards.
Ape studio. Ape means to ape, no?
So it's called as wrong answers only. Okay, so you need to deliberately say wrong answers, whatever you feel like.
Fun. I should have called my wife. She would have had fun. I look at her, I'll tell anyway wrong.
What is your age?
28.
28. Okay, this is little controversial. How many times have you been married?
God only knows.
Why join architecture?
Because nobody else would take me.
Why do architects sketch?
Because they don't know anything other than a paper. Because I don't sketch, I have only mud.
Okay. What is the easiest way for architecture students to pass design class?
Go touch the feet of the master and fail.
Okay, this is your favorite word which you never understand. What is sustainability? Wrong answer anyway. Wrong answer only.
When you go to a court, when somebody is arguing very well, initially I understood when the judge said, argument sustained, I thought that's it's finished. Then I realized later on it means continuity. I didn't understand. I would shout at the what judge is a good, sir, he sustained, which means you are finished. Go back to, you are finished. Moment anything is sustained, it is finished.
So this is my personal question. Like, as I told you, this book is such a wonderful book. I think everyone must read. Okay. This is not a paid thing. Okay. So it's my personal experience. So I believe when I read the foreword, I don't know why I felt like reading the foreword. Yes,
Most important.
most important. And I was like, forward, it blew my mind. I had to read it twice, thrice to understand it. There you said it like kind of revolutionary thing. I felt like so great. To remake the world if I can, and I promise I shall strive to do it. A world where man lives without fear, where there are no walls, no barriers, and all the air is free, honest and true. Where right, this is my way, my object, my goal, a goal for all humanity. Did you achieve the goal, sir? Do you think you did?
In many ways, yes.
Okay.
In some ways, still going on the journey.
Okay.
It's there going on. It is space. Architecture, as I told you, is a phenomenal profession. Very difficult to comprehend. The earlier design discipline, architecture philosophizes in abstracts. But that every human being is an architect by himself or herself. And every creature is an architect. You find, sometimes you look at the ant hill and see the ant. The little ant is rolling such a big ball. You start looking at it. If that little fellow can roll the ball into the thing and build the ant hill on top, then you go to the fly, to the bee. Little fellow flying and building a nest. I look at it and say, when can human beings build such things? Or even design such things? Because every other life other than the human being is born with the nature incorporated inside, into their own field of elements. The human being is the only being who is built with nothing. What the mother talked and pushed into your belly, her belly, was you learnt first. From birth to death, but from concept to memorial. This is my latest thing going. These are two ends, but these two are the shutting downs. Once you're born, you have to die. But the concept, it becomes a memorial. which is a phenomenon. Now I have told you the next book subject. I'll tell you why. The other thing you told me, I was talking about this somewhere. I have this bad habit. She putting everything on WhatsApp or somewhere quoted. She said, "Didn't you were talking about this? Somebody's already put it." Isn't it good? People I can fight. I said, at least I'm glad that person is
Liked it.
wanted it and liked it, and let them take. There is no acquisition or think about it. It hurts you in the
Selfless.
beginning, but then you smile. Somebody did understand something.
Yeah.
It's big difference.
It was a really very
My-
lovely conversation with you.
Honestly,
Definitely. We should have more conversations like this.
No, that I
Yes.
trace it. In fact, I wanted to get, what you should do is get some senior architects and get some junior and one such student aspiring, one small group, and then interact.
Correct.
They will also be bold enough, they know these architects are open to discussion. And then the third and fourth level, which will be witnessing this, one is the college ducks and the other professional ducks. What are these fellows doing sitting around there talking? They can't interfere because this lot, they can't interfere with them.
Wonderful.
It'll work.
Such a beautiful idea.
It'll work.
Yeah. Sure. Sir.
That was a very insightful conversation, isn't it? Now I know why he is revered amongst the architecture fraternity. I loved every bit of it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. See you in the next episode.